Hey everyone, Game Hunter here, and don't mind if you noticed a little bit. We're playing Rogue! A little noise, a bink noise. It's just how we gotta roll with it this time. So anyway, we looked at a little bit of Rogue last time, but now we'll try to delve a little bit into more about how the game was kind of founded and created and whatnot. And in the meantime, of course, we will be trying to play it a little bit. So yes, anyway, as written by Glenn Wickman, I hope that's how it's pronounced. I mean, it's like CH, but I'm thinking Wickman's correct. I don't know. It could be Weichman. I don't know. Anyway, he wrote a quick little explanation of stuff called A Brief History of Rogue, and the first thing that was explained is that originally this game came out around 1980, where there were things like the Atari 400, which is, darn it, again with the weakness. Hate it. I don't know if I hope there's a way to cure that. That seems awful if there isn't. But anyway, that's when you had Atari 408. I didn't even know about those. I think I knew about the 2800 basically. It's, according to Angry Video Game Nerd, that's the first big one, I guess. Oh, and I got caught in a trap. There are traps in this game. It's something, but it looks like it just immobilizes you. But things like that, a Commodore 64, that much I know. Apple II, also, that wasn't quite the Macintosh, no. And not really any IBM, the PC, basically. So yeah, I mean, PC stuff for home systems, very limited back in the day. Very limited at that time. And I'm already full up, so we gotta figure out what I need to try out. Let's read a scroll. As you read it, it vanishes. Fantastic. Okay, but anyway, so that was kind of what they were working with at the time. And one of the more popular games around was called Adventure, which was just text. If you guys know text-based adventure games, to an extent they still kind of exist today, as a person can just kind of create them very quickly and stuff. Trying to think of one that I might have known. I don't suppose if you guys know Homestar Runner, there's a number of text-based adventure quests there, which are pretty hilarious because, obvious exits are north, south, and Dennis. And Dennis is actually going to a guy named Dennis, but it's kind of a parody on text-based adventures in the first place. But that's what existed at the time, because all you really had was the command prompt. I don't know exactly what they called it at the time, but it was just basically a way to talk to the computer through direct input and output of text on the screen. I know there's a better way to put that, but oh, whoa, teleport trap. And yes, this is having multiple enemies at the same time is bad, but sometimes it just kind of happens. And I do want to try to search everything before, but you never know if that'll actually happen. So text adventures were the big thing back in that time. And what we got here? Oh, great. Huh? What? Who? I guess that was a potion of confusion. So, get rid of you. Although I guess I should wait until the trap ends. Okay, it looks like it finished. Looks like it. Okay, good. Oh, I want that. Great. So it changed itself. Whatever. Anyway, so I can talk about more stuff. So a person named Ken Arnold apparently wrote a library of routines for what would be called cursor addressing, which is basically painting characters on the screen at any given place rather than having it, appear on the next line and whatnot. I guess hard-coded is kind of just that cursor that shows up and lets you type, but to do so freely was part of what was being created at the time. And so the idea for an adventure game in which you had these objects, these characters on the screen, started to to formulate in the heads of the roguelike, what would be known as the rogue development team. But anyway, I need to drink this potion. There we go, finally. But I don't know. Stupid giant ants are an awful, awful thing to deal with. So that was the big breakthrough, and in fact, I mean, as a sort of homage to centaurs. Centaurs are quite nasty in certain games. Come on. Yeah, look at that. I've already gotten 3 excellent hits. I only just killed him. Also, my experience seems to have dropped tremendously at some point. Not sure when that happened. But it certainly is... Oh, wait, no, I'm reading that wrong. I always read that wrong when I change games. Caught in the bear trap. Right, so... Essentially, they decided that they wanted to... Oh, crap. Armor enemies. There's a way to take... Ah, darn it. Oh, okay. Took me long enough. Oh, wait. Trying to... Okay, that doesn't actually affect... Yeah. And the thing is that the rust monsters can't actually hurt you. They can only hurt the armor that you were wearing. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to be stuck with the one that we have now. But we should get rid of the -1, because it's just no good anymore. Unfortunately. So Rogue was originally written in C, and perhaps this is somewhat obvious, but I mean that was kind of the fun and interesting programming language at the time. Low level indeed, but certainly not quite as primitive as assembly. So that's what they decided to use, and Glenn came up with the name for Rogue. I guess doesn't really explain it just in here, but I'm sure there is a reasoning behind it. And I mean, I always thought just kind of a rogue, just a person breaking the mold, breaking the slime mold, and venturing off into these crazy caverns for what appears to be a license into a fighter's guild. It's a pretty weak argument, especially when you compare it to later stuff. But that's just how it goes sometimes, I guess. And I mean, I guess that's what I wanted to think about there, is just that writing a game purely in C, because there wasn't much else at the time. It's funny the way that works. Oh, I can't take the arrows. I need to remember I have arrows. Although, as you can see, most of these places certainly do not have anywhere else to go. You just gotta do what you can. Oh crap, floating eye. We gotta kill those things. And now we gotta read something. Teleport scroll, okay. Oh boy. So glad that you gotta read them at some point, and then you know what they do. And later on when you get good at the game, you kind of just do this by habit, and maybe even understand that they're gonna show up at certain points and whatnot. Hobgoblin. Those are the evil early game creatures, certainly not so much anymore. Okay, so I finally found what is that? Gain damage scroll, I guess. Hoping. Huh, and there's scroll of light. Wow, it's a lot of food. So I can spend extra time here, is basically what the game's telling me. I can actually farm a bit because I can afford to. Although farming in this game is almost only experience and nothing else. There's really nothing else to go with it. Because, well, I don't think enemies drop stuff. It only shows up on the floor, and of course you can't go out. You can't go well, you can't go back up. There's no aim band in motion. And ultimately, when you do get the Amulet of Yendor, you do go back up, but I don't know if it's the same ups. So, I imagine the enemies get weaker at that point, but other than that, you don't really have a lot going for you. Man, my strength! It is painful strength. I guess I'm just hoping that there's a potion that... Perhaps that there's a stat in the game that says, oh, there's also, you know, the amount of strength you once had, and there's a potion that fixes that. I don't know. Just try potions. Makes you... Ah, there we go. Perfect. That was the potion I was looking for. I don't know what it's called, but I'm sure it's important. It's super duper important. I gotta make sure I have at least one of those at all times, pretty much. And when my strength really becomes in a dire position, that's what you gotta... Oh, goodness. We have a lot of enemies all of a sudden. And quasits. Oh, man. Please die. Okay, thank you. So now I'm not fighting two at once. Okay, quasits... Oh, crap. Yeah, I know. Oh, well. It's funny, though, because, you know, they can't hurt you. You just need to be ready to remove what you were wearing. And there's little point to hold that around. Because I think, what? It's, I guess it's still kind of... Yeah. It's a little better than what I have, but not by much. And the food's gone, so somebody ate it. Or it was here? I'm trying to remember. No? It's good. Just plain old gone. Okay. Then we should probably descend. But in the meantime, I thought I would just say very quickly that there are a pretty vast number of direct variants to this game. And of course, some of them are probably a little better known than others. But in general, I mean, there's a lot going on with just this one game in general, because this is the game that took off and made everything as crazy as it is. But there's Calc Roguelike, which is for the TI-82. All you high schoolers out there with your trigonometric classes, if you have them. At least I did in my school. And you always got either a hand-me-down TI-82 or whatever. But point is that I think there was a Mario game I played, but I'm sure Rogue would almost play better in such a game, because you have a lot of commands that you can work with in there. Ah, darn you, giant ants, for being so ugh. All right, studded leather, show me what you got. All right, it's better than what I had, for sure, for sure. And I think the leather armors aren't affected by rust monsters. So that's a nice little caveat. That's one of the coolest things about this game, is that it really was, if you recall the original text adventure games, there was a lot of just little tiny things that you wouldn't necessarily expect to be able to do. Oh goodness. Quasits. Come on. Come on! That was an excellent hit? Huh. Man, I'd already gotten all my HP back, but quasits are tough. Wow. What else do we got? Armor glows. Cool. So I found improve. Ah. Crap. Hey. I don't think I can really take another hit, so... Healing. Okay, well, looks like I would have survived, but it's almost entirely luck in combat in this game. There are things you have to fix up, but in the end, it can really be thrown off to some extent. But anyway, other variants include Classic Rogue, which is basically a port to, to the proper systems. Like DOS. I think originally the game was made for I'm trying to remember exactly. It should be written somewhere around here. It's for Unix, right. Not even Linux, but Unix. They're just, from which that came. Oh, what else we got? Oh, we do have a scroll of light just sitting around. You begin to feel greedy and sense gold. Incredible. So I got a scroll of teleport, which will allow me to survive an accidental almost death. That's going to be very important later on. What else do we have? Come on, don't get me in the hits. Okay, good. So yeah, so classic rogue, and that's in a sense what I'm playing. Although it's really more of an absolute direct port. Ooh, that's bad. That's a sleep trap. A lot of elements in this game do bring me back to NetHack, which is something I played, back in the day. Vanishes. Period, huh? Oh, was that, man, centaurs. Whew. Centaurs are rough. I think that was summon monsters, because that guy came out of nowhere, and it was pretty rough, but better to get those out of the way as soon as possible, because I think that depends on the dungeon floor level to some extent. But what else? There's iRogue, obviously, for i systems. Linux Rogue, which is just playing directly for Linux. I imagine that's a pretty earlier port. Let's go ahead and click on that link so that I can see. Linux Rogue came out in, let's see, Linux version of Rogue 5.0. God, geez, nymphs. They're the, yeah, they steal stuff too. Fantastic. I'm actually going to have to hunt that one down because I do not want it constantly stealing things from me. Ideally, oh, great. Let's not care about the darts. More important are the rings. So wait, why did I just, yeah, I'm just wearing 2 rings, that's it. That's all she wrote. Ah! I really shouldn't have just done that. Should have went around. Because now I can't go back, because the nymph stole my potion, and that's that. That is that, good sirs. Oh, wait, okay, so rust monsters still work against that. Right. Fantastic. Rust monster. Oh, great. Sleeping. Oh! This might... Okay, I'm not dead. Oh, but now I'm dead. Trolls! Trolls are usually the killer. Which is hilarious, because now they have a much greater meaning than they used to. So, that's that. I don't know, just to quickly name off some rogues. There's a tile rogue, and I think I might want to check that one out. And, it uses the David Gervais tile set. Is pretty well known, I guess, because the whole Angband stuff and all that good stuff. So yes, I think we'll leave it at that for today. This has been Game Hunter playing Rogue. Join me next time when I'll probably even just play a new version at this point, because I don't want this LP to go too far. Because you can only do so much with the original Rogue. But there are a lot of versions, and I'd just like to check it out over, see how things change and evolve and vary with the very many different versions. So, until then, keep playing those roguelikes, everyone, and take care.